Okay, good morning children. Today we are going to start the next two topic, thrust and pressure. So what is thrust? What is the pressure? So before starting that, I want to ask you one question. Have you wondered why the camel is easily they can walk through the sand, and how that you can see that why your truck or a or motorbike has a wider tires, or why an army tank weighing more than 1,000 tons rests upon the continuous chain. This all the questions. Why cutting of tools have the sharp edges? In order to address all these questions, we want to understand the phenomena involved. It helps us to the concept of the net force in a particular direction. So that is called the force per unit area is called pressure. The force acting on a unit area is called pressure. Let's see the situation here. That's a person here that see you wish to fix a poster on a bulletin board in the schools and all. You can poster, you will put in the bulletin board, and to do the task you have to press the drawing pins. You know the drawing pins with your thumb, you will press it still. You apply the force on the surface area on the head of the pin. This force is directed perpendicular to the surface area on the board, and this force acts as a smaller area at the tip. This is the first situation. If you want to press this, you want to press it here. See at the picture where there with the thumb they are pressing, that will go inside. Instead of this pointed, if you are taking this pointed outside, if you are pressing just opposite, what will happen? It will go inside. No, it's not go inside. Next, you will stand on the loose sand. You are feel deep into the sand. Now it will lie on the sand. If you, what will happen? For example, if you are coastal areas, if you are going there, it is so difficult to walk through that mud. There's no sand. But why it is there? If you Rajasthan and all, camel can walk easily to that, but we cannot do. What are the reason behind that? They are saying this area is less, pressure will be more there. So according to that, there we learned that weight is a force acting perpendicular downwards. So why we are standing loose, and the force that is weight of a body is acting on the area equal to the area on your feet. So full body weight is applying on the foot if you are standing. If you are lying on that, full body weight will on all the body surface on there. So if that coming to the point that which is the larger area your feet, thus the affect the force of same magnitude. So but coming to the point that if the area is less, pressure will be more. We are applying the pressure will be more. If the area is more, the pressure will be less. So area is less, pressure will be more, and just inversely proportional to that. So what is the definition we can get? Thrust on the unit area is called pressure. What is the pressure? How we calculate formula? Thrust by area. What is the SI unit of pressure? Newton meter per second. So in Newton meter square. In order to scientist the Basil Pascal, he is the scientist to find out that. So SI unit of pressure is called Pascal, denoted by capital P and small a. So I will show you to where which part you can underline and read it now. See this, that the effect of the force same magnitude on different areas are different. Effects of force on the same magnitude on different areas are different. In the above cases, thrust is same but the effects are different. Therefore, the effects of thrust depend upon the area on which acts. So, underline this part. The thrust on unit area is called pressure. Put in the box, pressure is equal to the thrust by area. Underline this. The SI unit of pressure is Newton meter per second square. Newton meter square. In order to, what is the scientist name? Blaise Pascal. In order to honor the scientist, we are given the SI unit of pressure called Pascal, denoted by capital P and a small a. Capital P and small a. So we are going to learn next pressure in the liquids also. Before that, the same force acting on the smaller area exert the larger pressure and smaller pressure on the larger area. This is the reason why the nail are pointed and knives are sharp edges. This all. If they can ask the give reason behind, give the reason why the nail has pointed tip, knives have sharp edges, and buildings have wide foundation. What is the reason? We can say the same force acting on a smaller area exert a larger pressure. The force acting on a smaller area, exert more pressure, means larger pressure, but smaller pressure on a larger area. That's the reason behind that. So next we are going to learn the pressure in fluids. In the pressure in the fluids is applying to the container, walls of the container. Soil exerts the pressure on the surface due to its weight, and fluid has weight and also, but soil also exerts the pressure, but in the liquid where they exerting the pressure in the container of the walls of the container. And thus what is buoyancy? Next new term it is coming. What is buoyancy? The upward force exerted by the water on the bottle is known as upthrust or buoyant force. For example, if I keep the here full of water I kept the one empty bottle, plastic bottle. If I press the plastic bottle downwards to the water, if I take out the hand, what will happen? It will rise up. Why? The pressure exerted by the water is exerting the pressure from upward direction. Water is exerting the pressure to the upward direction. But we are exerting the pressure. The pressure is overcome. The water can overcome the pressure what we are exerting. That's the effort. If I fill the bottle full water, it will be dipped till lay down. It will not so that the reason behind that I'll read it out. The force due to the gravitational attraction of earth acts on the bottle in the downward direction. So the bottle is pulled upward. So what is the reason? The force due to the gravitational attraction of the earth so acts on the bottle in the downward direction. So the bottle is pulled downwards. But the water exert on the upward force on the bottle. But the water is happening, the water will exert the upward direction. Due to the gravitational force, the bottle is exerted downwards, but water will exert the force to upward directions. So we learned that weight of the object is the force due to the gravitational attraction of the earth. So when the bottle is immersed, the upward force exerted by the water on the bottle is greater than its weight. Underline, children. When the bottle is immersed, when I immerse the bottle in the half-filled can or vessel, the upward force exerted by the water on the bottle, is greater than its weight. Yes, no? If that's why the weightless object will float, weight body will sink inside the water. To keep the bottle completely immersed, what you want to, the upward force of the bottle due to the water must be balanced. This can be achieved by the external applied force acting downwards. So the force must be at least be equal to the difference between the upward force and the weight of the bottle. So next, underline this part. The definition is coming to the next para. The upward force exerted by the water on the bottle is called upthrust or buoyant force. What is the definition we can give for the buoyant force or upthrust? The upward force exerted by the water, on the bottle is known as upthrust or buoyant force. The object experiences a force of the buoyancy when they are immersed in a fluid. The magnitude of the buoyant force depends upon the density of the fluid. Underline that. The magnitude of the buoyant force is depend upon the density of the water. Don't think all the water, the fluid have same density. No, different density. We'll come to the next point. What is the density? We'll know what is that. So here one activity they are given here. I will read the activity. You can see here, this is the iron, the nail, this is the vessel, the nail sink here. The force due to the gravitational attraction of the earth on the iron nail pulls it upward. There is an upthrust of water or the nail which pushes it upward, but the downward force acting on the nail is greater than the upthrust of water on the nail, so it's sink. So same reason only behind this also. If you press this, what will happen? The force will exert by here. See, iron nail sinking here. Nail this, but this not sinking. The weight of comparing to the weight of the object will sink and the object will float. So come to the next principle of the Archimedes principle. The Archimedes principles, what is the Archimedes principle is stating that when a body immersed fully or partially in a fluid, when a body immersed fully or partially in a fluid, it experiences an upward force that is equal to the weight of the fluid displaced by it. For example, I'll take you this. So I'll take this, if I fill this up to here, if I immerse this bottle to downwards, up to here downwards, the water will spill from here. Here this water is equal to the density of the water. When a body is completely or partially immersed in a fluid, it experiences an upward force. It experiences an upward force that is equal to the weight of the fluid displaced by it. It is equal to the, what is the weight of the fluid displaced? What is the weight of the fluid displaced from it? So that's the Archimedes principle. This Archimedes principle has many applications also. Where the applications are coming is used to design the ship. You know, the shape of the ship will not change day by day. The same shape is continuing year by year. Shape of the designing ship and submarines. Lactometers, which are used to determine the purity of sample of milk, and hydrometers used to for determine the density of liquids are based on this Archimedes principle. Next, coming to the relative density. What is relative density? Let's see. The density of the substance is defined as the mass and of a unit volume. How we can density of the substance is defined as the mass of a unit volume. So unit of density is kilogram meter per cube. Kilogram per meter cube. Kilogram per meter cube. You can underline here the definition of density. The density of substance is defined as the mass of unit volume. The unit of density is kilogram per meter. Okay, children, so underline. The density of the substance is defined as the mass of unit volume. The unit of density is kilogram per meter cube. Okay, these both you should underline. Next, underline the density of a given substance under specified condition remains the same. Okay, so what is the density of the for SI unit of density is kilogram per meter cube, and the density of a substance is defined as the mass per unit volume. Mass per unit volume. So it is often convenient to express the density of that substance in comparison with the water. The relative density of the substance is the ratio of the density of that water. Relative density, density of substance by density of the water. So it's coming that the characteristics differ for the different substances. For example, density of the gold is 19,300 kilogram meter cube, while that of water is 1000 kilogram meter cube. The density of the given sample of the substance can help us to determine its purity. You want to find out how much purity is there. If you know the gold, if you buy the purity 9.8 carat, 9.6, like according to that will say the purity of the gold. So it's often convenient to express the density of the substance in the comparison with that of the water. If we are compared with the water, it is comparison with the water. So the relative density of the substance is the ratio of its density to that of water. Relative density is equal to density of a substance by density of a water. Since the relative density is the ratio of the similar quantities. So in this chapter, thrust and pressure we learned, and what is the pressure exerted in the fluid, what is the density, what is the relative density, and this full Archimedes principle, everything. I hope you clear, children. Okay, thank you so much.